Are you just stupid? Like, did the realization not hit you that you could stop if you wanted? I mean, like, it seems like you have to think about it. So that's a pretty sick 4-bet. Hey guys, gonna be quick. We have got a massive Black Friday sale going on right now. It is going to end in just a few days. It's going to end on Sunday at midnight our time. But for now, we have got discounted products on the BBZ store at bbzpoker.com, and we never have discounted products on the site. So make sure you go take full advantage of some of our 25% off sale and crush. Good luck, guys. Bye-bye, and see you soon. So that basically for going from second to first place, you get the same amount of money as you would going from third to second, or the same amount of money as you go from fourth to third. So that step change translates to really ICM dense situations and not trying to win at all. Like, it's just important that you go from fourth to third as you go from second to first. They're the exact same degree of importance. But you don't see that in tournaments, right? Like in tournaments, like that's why, you know, people like, I'm going to play for the win. Like, well, first place is 10,000 and second is like 5 and third is, you know, whatever, something small like 2,000. So if we're going from third to first, you 5x the money, right? Whereas in that sit and go example, you 3x the money, right? You go from, or not even, right? You go from, you go from $2 for getting third to $4. You just double your money for getting first, right? So you double your money in that 18-man sit and go example where you 5x it in the tournament example. So where is it okay to play for the win? Well, obviously in the tournament example, it's better. It's still not right, but it's better, right? So, anyways, this is the real question was just like, what's a good ROI in sitting goes? It depends. 1,000 average buy-ins, that's massive. Would you say it's true in terms of bankroll management to protect against that sort of downswing? No, not necessarily. And obviously this is a massive combo draw that we just bricked. So like, you know, it sucks when this happens, but this is a part of the game. So like this, we played a big hand here, and if he checks, we're going to shove. And if he doesn't check, then we're going to lose this hand. And that's the game, question mark. But like, you know, we're stuck, but this is like a pretty important hand. Okay. So no, I don't necessarily think you want to. We are going to shove when facing check. I don't have many bluffs here, and this is going to be how I bluff. You can make an argument that bluffing with queen 10 is better. I wouldn't disagree with that, but I'm still bluffing with this. Yeah, that sucks. I guess like I have a lot of double gut shots, so maybe I need to think about that more and like not bluff with that one and just stick to bluffing with like queen 10. All right, as you win money, you play a little bit higher. But on the flip side, as you lose money, you play a little bit lower. So like even if you're losing for a few days, right? Like you would play maybe just a little bit lower. And then like as you lose for a few more days, you play just a little bit lower. And then as you lose for a few more days, you play still just a little bit lower. And that 10-9 I just have way too the problem with the 10-9 is that I have way too many hands that duplicate that hand class. And so I'm gonna end up with like way too many bluffs. Like just way too many. I kind of knew that, but like didn't care enough. So, oops. Okay. So, yeah. The main idea is that if you're too careful, you can't win. Like you can't win by being too careful either. I think once he checks back, we're gonna go with betting the turn. I think on this particular card, like overbetting is like less of a thing for me. I think on board pairing 3, we just jam. Basically, like his range is relatively capped. He checked back the flop, so he doesn't have sets. So he's got a pair of jacks a lot. I have queens, kings, and aces. So like when I have queens, kings, or aces, I'm going to check, I'm going to probably shove. And that's what that means though, is that like if he just always folded hands like ace jack, he would get. And it sounds like, well, you have queens, kings, and aces, so can't he just fold ace jack? No. Why? Because that's all he fucking has. So if he folds ace jack all the time, then he's just never calling. And I'm the type of guy that's going to take advantage of that. Like everyone knows that. So you know, it's very natural for me to think about what's next. I always think about what's next. I think when people are like, oh, I've never thought about retirement, I'm like, are you fucking lying? Like, are you lying? Like, you know, when I read, like, watch some YouTuber who's like really successful or something, or even like a fighter, you know, like who's really successful. It's like they say, did you think about retirement? And it's like I've never thought about it. I'm like, are you fucking lying? Like, you must be lying. What do you mean you never thought about it? Like, it's like, I find it baffling. Like, you don't have to do it anymore, and it never like, are you just stupid? Like, did the realization not hit you that you could stop if you wanted? I mean, like, it seems like you have to think about it. So that's a pretty sick 4-bet. Hopefully we get 4-bet. There you go. This hand plays pretty cleanly against 4-bet. I'm going to check this one back. Well, I said hopefully I get 4-bet, but I said I didn't want to get 4-bet and then run into kings. So that sucks. But it happens also. So here's what it is. Here... I mean, like, I'm definitely betting. It's just about, like, what sizing choice I like the most. And I think we're going to barrel. And I think here we're going to fold. I think here we're going to shove. Sucks. Ran into the nuts again. Down 2.5 buy-ins. Like I said, it happens sometimes. It is what it is. I think last time I won like $600 or $700, but this time it's not going like that. Maybe won 1,000 last time. We had a really good session last time, but it seems like we're hell bent on giving it all back this time. Calling the 4-bet. I wonder if I get to fold versus c-bet here. I bet I do. I'm gonna call anyways, but I bet I get to use like a 45% fold or something. I wonder if I get called by ace-x because he thinks I'm bluffing him off chops. When he checks back the turn, yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna kill this session, guys, soon. This isn't going well. When he checks back the turn that fast, I should have known that he's gonna have a queen a lot. It's hard, like, if queen x isn't like a big part of his 4-bet range, unless he has ace queen. Now, obviously, he has queen 7, so, like, this guy's just a reason for me to keep playing, I think. But I get really short bluffs there when I call, but I think that I should just turn ace-x into a bluff because he has so much ace-x at the bottom of his range. So, like, have I run 0 sims in cash? No. But, like, have I run lots? No. So I don't really know, like, all of the nuances about, like, different cards and how things work in this format. So I really don't have a choice other than to use, like, kind of generic quantitative strategies and get the answer wrong in a lot of situations at the margin. Kind of interesting against 4x, to be honest. Like, 5x. Like, if this hand deteriorates enough to fold. Like, I would fold queen 10 against 5x, but... So this player opened the small blind, I flatted the big blind and called. It's interesting. I think I'm just gonna call. Obviously, this player can have ace king. No shit. That sucks. I mean, I don't think that that's like I did anything wrong. I think that like that's just a cooler for the most part on that turn card. You could make arguments around calling and obviously calling river. I think that that's clean and like letting him bluff. I think the thing is I think like most of his bluffs are like super high equity. So, and like he also has like aces and kings, which I think you kind of like don't mind slamming on. So, yeah, I shoved and lost to buy-in. Darn. Buy-in and a half, I guess, because I was up a little bit. But like, there's aces and kings and king queen and ace queen and all those hands have outs and are all really miserable and can all bet small, I think, and yada yada yada. I think we're gonna double barrel this one. It's a pretty good one for double barreling. Might be punting off 2 buy-ins. Clearly he's got a lot of ace-x here. Yep, that's good. There goes the second buy-in. Gonna check this back. Could have definitely bluffed the turn. You could fold. would be a sweet deal. Don't think he's gonna fold, guys. Oh, we got the fold. We got the surprising fold. Let's go. Didn't think we were getting it. Didn't think we were getting it. 3-bet jacks, which is pretty standard. Checking back turn. And river. This is where we're c-betting small. Had the wrong table up. Going to check call, or I'm not checking, but I'm gonna float. Good raise, but I'm just gonna float. And we're gonna double barrel small here. And I'm gonna double float, although I don't hate raising. So I'm gonna save that for, no, I'm not. I'm gonna raise. And here, it's between calling and shoving. And I'm gonna call. Don't really like that river, to be honest. Surprising lead from villain. Call turn 2-bet and then donk bet river. I do have showdown value, but I'm still gonna fold. Yeah, I mean, I hate this spot, but I'm still calling. Yeah, I don't think I get to fold there, to be honest. I think he can have sets that I beat, so. Sucks though, I hate that river, like, a lot, but I don't think it translates to folding, so. Darn, now we're stuck for sure. Now we're stuck a lot. Like, a lot. But session's not going well. So against this 4-bet size, we have to call. Given the positions. Expect a small bet mostly. I'm going to bluff raise here. I don't think I need a pair for this. Maybe I do, but I don't think I need a pair here. And the board 4 flushed in a 4-bet pot. Maybe I should have chosen a different sizing choice. Bluff raise here works. Fuck! I think I should have chosen a different sizing choice. I think I torched that one. I think that's like one of the first like real incinerations I made. Fuck. I'm kind of unhappy about that. Right as, yeah, that was pretty punty. So I mean, like, obviously the nice thing about this situation is I actually have a lot of like I would thinly value bet. Like I would more thinly value bet here. I have a lot of pairs, and my pairs have hearts a lot. And he doesn't have as many pairs because he 4-bet me pre, so like he doesn't, like I think to the sizing choice he made, he doesn't have jacks as often. And I'll be honest, I didn't think he was gonna have king 8 suited very often either. So like, he's definitely gonna have the king of hearts when he has a flush, but he has like his range for 4-betting is just like so ace-x dense that it becomes much more challenging for him to have like a king high flush. He can have a 10 high flush. It becomes much more challenging for him to have a king high flush unless he has like ace king specifically. He also has to check back the turn and not bet small, which he did do, so like to his credit. But it's a pretty like effective strategy to like bet small because where you've got a more than 1-to-1 SPR going into the river, and like unless I'm gonna be a punter and just shove like, you know, a hand like king queen of diamonds, then it's great to just fucking check and own me. For the base 10 of diamonds, got 3-bet by the big blind. We're going to call. Cutoff versus big blind. I think this is okay to 2-bet. Obviously, like jacks or aces are a concern, but I think once I get into this situation, that's just how it goes sometimes. I can also call this hand, by the way. Like calling with this hand's fine. Go either way. Sucks. Villain had queens. We're gonna 4-bet. 3-betting kings. It's not the best flop. This kind of sucks when this happens. So I think this hand mixes. It's been a while since I've looked this up, but I'm gonna call this time. Yeah, small part of me wants to look this up right this fucking second, but Let's keep going. Well, that's not less than ideal flop, and against this bet size, I think I can just fold. I think that I'm doing fine there. I think I'm doing fine. I 3-bet 7-6 suited here pre-flop, and caught a bad board. C-bet small, doing a double barrel small. Over here, I 3-bet the button, got cold called by the big blind. Gonna check shove, which I think is the answer here. Obviously, sometimes I'm gonna fucking lose. Darn, I guess. Over here, going to triple off. And over here, we check shoved ace king. My opponent had 7-8 suited and cold called my 3-bet, and then stabbed the flop. And basically the point is like once my opponent cold calls a 3-bet with the way that I think the range is built, if he has hands like the one that he did have, he's probably also stabbing with 8-9 suited. And so like that's kind of the point. I mean, when you lose, everyone's always like, oh look, he had a pair of 7s or whatever the fuck he had. I don't know if it was a pair of 8s or a pair of 7s, but oh look, he had the pair, and it's like, well, if his range is that weak, then I need to check shove the flop, and that's kind of what I thought. So I didn't know if it was gonna go that far down, but I thought that it was too weak to fold. So I shoved, and unfortunately that time he woke up with his pair of 7s, but I think on average my play works.